Hey folks, all right. I'm really excited. I really enjoy working in Photoshop. There are many different skills that we will be working on in Photoshop. And in most cases, people find one skill or another that kind of matches what they really enjoy. So this first video is just talking about some of the basic tools. Now, there are so many tools in Photoshop that we will never even get to some of them. But I definitely do want to talk about some of the basic ones to begin with. So here's Photoshop, and the toolbar is over here on the left-hand side. Now, I'm going to kind of start up at the top, and no, I'm not going to hit every single one, but I am going to hit a number of them. This first tool, it has 4 arrows pointing in different directions. It is the move tool, and if you're not sure, you can just put your mouse over top of it. Don't click, just put your mouse over top of it and let it sit there, and it tells you it's a move tool. So when you actually draw something or when you cut something, you can actually just take it and move it. Now, the next one here is the rectangular marquee tool. In other words, it's going to make a selection. And you're going to hear me talk about selections a lot. But it's going to make a selection in the shape of a rectangle. Now, if I wanted a selection in a different shape, this is really important. So this little tiny little arrow down in the bottom right-hand corner that you see tells me that there are other tools here. And if I click and hold, the other tools come out. And I can do an elliptical selection or just a single row selections and things like that. But it's normally either rectangular or elliptical that we're going to use, and elliptical does include circles. All right. So, yep. So each one of these things that has the little arrow, which is virtually all of them, you can click and hold and get to other things. Okay. So on this next one, we've got a couple of different tools here too. The lasso tool allows me to go around certain pictures, making a selection. The polygon or the polygonal tool, lasso tool, allows me to make like a certain shapes that are other than rectangles and stuff. And then a magnetic tool kind of makes something stick. And I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit, but it allows me to outline certain objects. So if you have a picture of a person and you just want to outline around that person, the magnetic lasso tool does a pretty good job. So then we have our quick selection tool. Now this quick selection tool is one that we will use quite often. And all you do is it's just like it shows right there with the ice cream cone. You just put your cursor right in the area that you want to select, and it's looking for any kind of contrast, and that's what it will select the area. And you can just move it around while holding the cursor down. Now you also have object selection tool and magic wand. Now we're going to go through these all in class, in some of them in a lot of detail and some of them just really quick. But the object selection tool is another one that we will use quite often, because in order to do so many things in Photoshop, we need to be able to select things. The next one is the crop tool. So the crop tool just allows us to say, hey, there's going to be a picture here on the screen, and I just want to take just a certain part of the picture and crop out the rest. So it allows me just to cut certain parts. It also has a few other things here, but the crop tool is probably the only one of those that we're going to be using in here. I'm going to drop down a little bit. There's an eyedropper here. An eyedropper allows you to sample specific colors. So if you have a picture and you need to be able to match a color from a certain part of the picture, which does come in handy, and we'll talk more about that, the eyedropper tool, you can just choose the eyedropper tool. You go to the certain part of the picture, you just click, and it will change the colors down here that you have selected to match whatever you clicked on. The next one, we have a spot healing brush, a regular healing brush, a patch tool, things like that. But the spot healing brush and the regular healing brush are two of them that we will end up using. These are like the primo tools to touching up somebody's portrait. For instance, let's just say you take a picture of somebody and they got this wicked big old zit right in the middle of their forehead and you wanted to get rid of it. Well, the spot healing brush or the healing brush can both be used. I like the spot healing brush most of the time myself, but we can use those to actually go bloop and the zit's gone. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. Okay, then we have a paintbrush. We will use the paintbrush occasionally, especially once I show you kind of how to use it where it doesn't look completely fake. But if you just use it on the regular, photograph, it looks like a little kid just got on and painted right over top of the picture, and it really looks horrible. So yeah, you gotta learn how to use it. Then where this little stamp is, we have a clone stamp and a pattern stamp. The pattern stamp you only use once in a great while. The clone stamp tool, when we get into photo restoration, there is times that a clone stamp tool is the tool that we're going to be using to fix some things. And it's kind of a neat thing. There's a history brush here that's kind of cool. An eraser that it's just like it says, it erases. Even though it doesn't always erase what you think it's going to erase. So you have to be kind of careful there. There's a paint bucket tool. The paint bucket tool, just whatever color you have selected down here, the red right now, it will fill an entire area with red. So that's what the paint bucket tool. But if you click, it also has a gradient tool in here, and that's another tool that I use quite a bit myself. So here we have a blur tool. We only kind of use that now and then, and we might not use it a lot, but it's really good for making things look like it's in motion, or making a background blurred so that the focus is just on the subject. So we got a few more here. I'm going to skip over all the way down to the one that looks like text. And in that one, we can hold it, and we got horizontal and we got vertical text. And the other two are interesting, and I will probably show them to you, but we may not use them a whole lot. But I will show you why we might at certain times use them. But the horizontal and vertical text tool just allows us to be able to put text into any kind of pictures we really want. And, oops, I just did the text tool, so let's just kill it. Then I'm going to drop all the way down here. This is just to put different shapes on. You can click, and there's all different shapes, and we can put those different shapes on things. And then we got the colors. Now the colors down here are really important. We've got a little tiny black and white, and if we mess up our colors or we want them to go back to black and white, we can just click on the little tiny version of black and white, and it'll go click, and it resets them both to black and white. Now sometimes we want foreground colors and sometimes we want background colors, and that's why there's two different colors here. But we can either click on the color down here on the left hand side, or I can go up here to the right hand side and click on a color and be able to put it in. So let's say I wanted a blue, so I can just click on, make sure that I've got foreground selected. I go over here, I choose blue, and then I choose what shade of blue I want. Oh, I want really blue, and there it goes. It just made it nice and blue for me. So, and you'll see that it changed down here on the left hand side as well. And then the last one that I really want you to know where it's at is there is this one right below the color, and it's called the Quick Mask tool. And we will be working with that in class because it's kind of important. So I just wanted you to know where it is. It's right here, Quick Mask tool. And so when I ask you to click, go into Quick Mask, you'll just click that button. Wow, that's hard to say. Click and quick, and yeah. Anyway, so the only other thing I really wanted to talk about is that on each one of these tools, you can click on the tool, and then up here at the very top changes for each tool. And so you can control that tool in all different ways. And these things up top really make a big difference as to how that tool reacts. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is down here on the right hand side are layers. And we will end up working with layers in a lot of ways. Think of layers as like you have a picture of something and then you have a bunch of clear plastic right over top of it. And you can put different things on different layers of clear plastic and then stack them on top of the picture. And that actually will make it all look like it's one big picture, even though it's all separate. And it really makes it nice because you can adjust things separately and stuff like that where you can't otherwise. All right, so that's it for now. We will end up playing quite a bit in class. I will have another video up for, well, actually, I'll probably have 2 or 3 videos for next week because I'll be teaching you all different skills in Photoshop. But we are going to take the next couple of days and just learn the tools and how to do basic things so that then we can actually do real stuff. All right, that's it. See you in class.